Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Networking Expert. I am LaDonna McAbee, your business development advisor, and I have Dr. Lotus Riche here with us from Lotus Riche Ignites. And I am so privileged that she has, I welcome her here. I'm so privileged to have her here and to just talk a little bit about her and her business, because she does a lot of different things that really moves and shakes the world, the city sometimes. And we need to know who Dr. Lotus really is. She is an author, a transformational strategist, a speaker, and the CEO of Lotus Riche Ignites. Dr. Lotus, will you give us just a little bit about you and your business?
Yes. First, let me thank you, LaDonna, for having me here today. It's always a great time when I'm able to speak with experts such as yourself here in business. So my company, Lotus Riche Coaching and Consulting LLC, also known as Lotus Riche Ignites, we partner with corporations all around the world to help them expand their reach and raise their revenue by getting them in front of the right clients with the right message. And we do that through a myriad of coaching and training programs. And we also use our video. It just helps them get their message across in a snap, just like Lisa Nichols always tells us to do.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Dr. Lotus, when I'm looking at your profiles on Facebook and on LinkedIn, because social media is key in our world today. I mean, it
Yes,
is, and it's just going to be more powerful in the future. It's
of
not going
course.
away. Powerful house, it's going
Yeah.
to be. So why and what makes you Mrs. Ignite and take flight? Tell me what that means.
When I first came back to the United States after working for the Department of Defense over in Japan, I first came back and Bishop Brooks said to me, she said, Lotus, well, what is it that you want to do with your company? And I said, Doc, I just want to help corporations really dig down on the inside and help people dig down on the inside, and so that they can shine and get that fire burning so that they can live a freer and whole life on the outside. And I just want to help people ignite and take flight in every area of their life. And it was born. And that is a key component to our corporation, helping people really take that burning fire of passion deep within, just like Napoleon Hill says. You take that fire and you really start to specialize in something. And specialization is key. And so we help people that want to specialize in helping people make their businesses thrive. So that's really where it came from, a conversation and a deep burning passion to help other people.
And you know what? Never know you never know where your next move is going to be and how it's
Yes,
formed, who's going to help you get there.
right.
You're right, that spark, that little spark just boom, and it an explosion in your heart, body, and soul, right? It
Yes, it does.
forms us. So Dr. Lotus, I want to read this, and you have it, and I know you know exactly where I'm probably going with this, but I really want you to answer this with your
Huh?
heart, your mind, and soul, because I know that it sets you apart and it sets you on fire. You focus on providing exceptional service and support to enhance and change lives,
Yes,
by being the change that you want to see in the world. I love hearing that because, customer support, business support is not always there. And I know you give it.
exactly.
Tell me how that makes you feel when I read that to you, knowing it is you.
Well, first of all, it makes me feel really grateful and just so thankful that people see the business and embrace the business in that manner. Because oftentimes when you do business with people and you hit a home run, maybe two or three or five people might say something about the home run. When you mess up, boy, everybody talks about it. And I always like to leave room for success to grow. And so what does that mean? We don't know everything about anything. My dad used to always say that. So I always look back to people that we serve to say, hey, what can we do even better? And so to hear you say what you said, that means we're doing something correct. And I always leave the field open to do something better. So I always welcome that information, that partnering really, because people in business, we have to partner so that we go a step higher and a step higher and a step higher and get better and better so that those that we serve and those that serve us, it's like a mirror reflection. So I'm really proud to hear that. So
Yes,
thank you.
absolutely. Absolutely. And you said a ton of golden nuggets right there. Let me tell you, my friend, a lot of golden nuggets there that if people would really take those words and really think about what I said and how you answered it, they're all your words. They're all about you. And then you've grown this beautiful business doing it. And I want to go back on something you said that your dad said, and it's true. It's you don't know until you know.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
the way the world works. And
Yeah.
I learned as a young child of my fifth grade teacher, before she was my teacher, I was probably in third grade. She always said, if you do one thing negative, people will tell at least 10 people.
Exactly.
One positive thing, greatness, they'll only tell one or two people. So
Right.
that's the way it truly is. And now having social media, it's even easier for people to get going with the negative. But you know what?
Yes.
As business owners and entrepreneurs, we have to put that to the side because we are
Exactly.
always striving to do greatness for
Exactly.
other people because we are here to serve them, here to help them build their businesses however they want, wherever
Yes.
they want, and really hold their hands, right? As an entrepreneur.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's one of the key components of doing not good business, but great business, really being in alignment with the people that you serve and really hearing their voice and challenging them to step up to the next level of excellence. Because let's face it, anybody can be good, but it takes a special somebody and a special team to help you be great. And a lot of times I hear people say, oh, wow, you're just so great. You're just so wonderful. But I couldn't have gotten where I am today or get to where I'm going without great parents, without great mentors, great trainers, and above all, the Most High shining down on me, blessing me with the great, amazing team that I have, and of course, my life partner. And so I said all that to say we don't do it alone. We don't do it by ourselves. So we need people to help us along this journey, and especially in business. I really believe that there has to be a level of love that you share and give away to people that you do business with. It was once said before, and I really believe this, that we can't sell what we want to sell. We have to sell what people want and need. And so when we understand what people really want and need, and we can be the solution to that challenge, then I think we're making a true connection. And it shouldn't be based on money, but it should be based on the connectivity of doing business with people in a sound, safe, and loving way.
Absolutely. And that's where, we say it, we preach it, we talk it, we walk it, the know, like, and trust factor. And it's
Yes, of
so
course.
true. It's not like it was 40 years ago where you knocked
Exactly.
on the door and you sold that set of encyclopedia or
Right.
the vacuum cleaner or
Yes.
Avon, the old
Yes.
commercial, you knock on the door and it's the Avon lady. Well, you don't do it that way anymore. People
Right.
buy from people they truly trust,
Exactly.
enjoy spending time with, even if it's not face to face, virtual is okay now.
Yes.
We had no such thing 20 years ago, but here we
Yes.
are. I've never gotten to hug Dr. Lotus yet
Yes.
today, but Look
Yes.
at us. We have
Yes.
talked many
Mhm.
times virtually.
Yes.
Very
Yes, we
close
have.
virtual friend. And
Yeah.
we do business together. We will continue to do business together and build our businesses worthy, because that's what great business entrepreneurs do, business owners
Exactly.
do. Is there,
Exactly.
I really want to talk about this Guinness World Record Holder 2020. Tell us
Yes.
about that.
Well, I was fortunate, excuse me, and blessed enough to work with a group of authors from all around the world, actually, because we had people flying in from other countries. And we all wrote a book together and we signed it simultaneously. It was a number that had never come together, a number of people that had never come together before. And that catapulted all of us. It was about 125 people, maybe even a little more, but we all came together, some of us for the first time, and we've made lasting relationships. And we all added our portion of our stories into this book, and we all signed it simultaneously. And so that gave us the great honor of being Guinness World Record holders. And since that time, I've gone on to do multiple anthologies, and I've been really fortunate to do my single book called Harnessing Your Thoughts, Take the Reins, Control Your Life, and Win, which is loosely based on the Napoleon Hill's Think and Grow Rich. And so from the Guinness World Record, it's just been a snowball effect. So many amazing things has happened for me just from that book alone.
Isn't it amazing? I
Yeah.
wonder, when you were a little girl growing up, did you ever think or dream that this is where you would be today as a little girl?
Well, I don't know. My parents, I always knew this, that I always knew that I like people and I like to speak. And I can remember when I was 7, standing on a box, talking to a group of kids, talking to them about the fact that we should work together and play together and not fight and have a great time. And I remember back in my school days, going to St. Nicholas in New Jersey, my parents, especially my dad, when they would get my report card, my dad would read the report card out loud, and he would say, this is what your teacher said. Lotus is a great student and she gets good grades and she does this and that, but she's very loquacious. And I'm sitting there and I got my chest stuck out and I'm proud. And he says, do you know what loquacious means? And I'm like, no. And he said, that's talkative. You go to school to learn, not to talk. So just to know that all of that helped me to get to where I am today, because I'm not afraid to talk to people and I'm not afraid to hear them, because talking really is a two-way street when we communicate. Having just the wherewithal to really hear in the depths of people's stories. And maybe that's why I have a background in psychology. Of course, I've got a master's in business, because I like to commingle the business of life together and to really understand people from a psychological premise. But I never thought that it would take me to where I am today. I've traveled all around the world. I've lived in Asia. And in fact, as you know, I just got back from Italy, bought this beautiful blouse in Italy. So in doing my book tour, I never thought that I would be speaking to people all around the world, just because I'm not afraid to say, hello, my name's Lotus.
And I love that. I just love that. But you said one really key factor that a lot of people, a lot of business owners, a lot of professors, no matter what business you're in, it doesn't matter. I've heard it, I've heard of it. Listening. So many people truly don't get the method of true listening.
Yes, yes.
And you
Uh,
miss
yeah, that's true. I taught a class in Korea several years ago. It's a part of the Red Cross program. It's called the Reconnection Program. And I taught this to some children. And I remember they would raise their hand. They was like, Miss Lotus, Lotus. I was like, yes. And they said, my mommy and daddy, they don't listen to me. I had to take a step back because I was teaching them communication. full body listening was what I was teaching them, right? And I said, how many of you experienced the same thing? And several hands went up. And it taught me that we have to really listen to our children. We have to listen to the people, because that take the moment in their life to say, hey, I need you to sometimes just listen. I don't need advice. I just need you to listen. And we need to not just listen with our outer ear, which is just hearing, but we need to listen with our inner ear and be in full body communication with them, meaning that we're facing them. We're in spiritual tune with them, and we're resonating on the vibration that they are resonating with, so that we can be in oneness with them. It's really important to hear what people have to say from a heart space. So I like that you've tuned into that, because I can't wait for the upcoming event, because we're going to be able to share from our heart space, and also be able to hear what those who are participating in the event have to say, how we can help them, how we can better ourselves as entrepreneurs, and also how we can go out further into the world and help other people as well. So listening is a great key, because it is definitely a two-way communication, whether we're speaking or we're using our body mechanics, even our eyes. You know, back in the day when I was a little girl, if I went in the store, my mom and dad, they didn't have to say anything. And LaDonna, you can probably attest to it. When you got in that store, your parents looked at you a certain way, you know, don't touch nothing and don't ask for nothing.
No, no. My mom had this
Sure, sure.
this
Yes,
eyebrow that would go up when she did not
yes,
like something that the four of us were doing.
yes,
And as soon as we seen that eyebrow, let me tell you,
like
all,
that.
we were walking
Hmm.
the line with straight bodies, arms down, focused,
Yes, yes.
straighten up our act. Because you know,
Hmm.
my
Exactly.
childhood in my household, we didn't get to speak much because that was talking back.
Yes.
Tell you what, my mom believed in corporal punishment with the back of the hand. Let me tell you. You did not talk back. You did not roll your
Yes.
eyes. You did not slam your door. And when that eyebrow went up, we walked the line. And she was a
Yes.
little lady, but very firm. And you know what? But I guess we all four respected her because
Of
we
course.
we knew what was going to happen if we
Of course.
did not walk the line the way she wanted us to. So, you know, there's a lot to say about listening. And like you said, I teach a class sometimes that it's about, you know, especially if you're a speaker like you and I both are, you know, when you lose your audience, when they start getting on their phones, their notepads, you know, they're not
Yes.
looking at you, you know, you're losing them. So you better
Yes.
start speaking up, you know,
Yes.
uh, hitting a desk, you know, hands up, whatever it is, because that is a quiet listening, but you need to listen with those
Exactly.
eyes of yours. I mean, there's a lot of ways to listen. So,
Yes.
um, Dr. Lotus, you and your business, your team offer a lot of different services
Yeah.
for business owners, for entrepreneurs. What else do you want to let people know that you do before we end this interview today?
One of the primary things I like people to know that we do is that we create an intimate relationship with our clients, meaning that you can go to multiple corporations, even Fiverr, and this is no stick against Fiverr because I happen to like Fiverr, but oftentimes corporations like that, they don't bring you in and sit with you and hear the intention of your business, hear the intention of your event, hear the intention of a flyer or a video that you may want to have. They may ask you a couple of questions. Well, what is it about? Well, what do you want the colors to be? What are your brand colors? But at the Lotus Riche coaching and consulting team, we really help ignite your business because we walk the journey with you. We bring you in. We do things that other companies I know for a fact are not doing. And this is no stick against any other company. Hint, hint. This is saying if you're not doing it, you should do it too. Why? Because our clients, they matter. People who are cultivating their businesses, who are also giving a product and service, they want a company that is going to sit with them, understand them, and work within the confines of what they are able to do to make sure they're putting out a stellar product. Because let's face it, anybody can do a video, anybody can hold a conference, but to really do something that's making change, to be memorable, is what we help companies do. Be memorable, because people, people might remember, they might remember a little bit about what you did, but it's how you made them feel is what they're never, ever going to forget. So we help companies to make their clients feel like they're number one, like they're the most important person in the room. And that's a unique thing. That's why when you see our logo, it's the Lotus Riche Ignites logo, where we have the woman rising up out of the lotus flower. Because the deeper in the mud the lotus flower is, the more majestic and resilient it arises. And so it's the same thing in business. We help businesses arise just like the lotus flower, more majestic and more
Oh, I love that. I just absolutely love that. And it is true, as an entrepreneur and as a business owner, I give it my all. And
yes,
and we have to be givers to be great business owners, people. Great.
yes,
Have to be givers.
yes.
There's not room for takers in our business. There just isn't. And I love that about my business, is that I can say that people will say, she gave more than I ever expected. And
Exactly.
my clients tell me that, Dr. Lotus, woo, that smile just lights up on my face.
Yes.
Why wouldn't it? Because that is a reward on its own, don't you think?
Of course. I believe in the philosophy of under promise and over deliver. Anytime you're over delivering and the client is pleased, you really develop oftentimes a lifelong relationship. And even if they don't have a need for your product or service at the time, you've left a lasting uh, memory, if you will, and they will share that with other people and they will send people to you. And that's how we get a lot of our business, by word of mouth. We do business internationally as well. And so it's really a great thing when people come to us and they say, I heard about you, or I've seen this video you all did, or I was in that training program. Case in point, I did something for BUMED. It's the medical part, I will say, of the Navy. And I was on a virtual, and I was one of the keynote speakers, and there must have been about a little over 1,000 people there. But during the question and answer segment, a lady came up, and she was able to be shown on the broadcast. And she said, "Oh my God, Dr. Lotus, I remember Dr. Lotus when you spoke here, and da 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 da, and I followed you for the past 3 years." I was blown away. And this is why it's so important to be really laser focused and on helping people, not just for money, because when we're doing something right, the money's going to come.
Right.
But really helping people to achieve their dream. Because one thing I found is that when you help somebody achieve their dream, many of your dreams will come true. Many of your dreams will come true.
Absolutely. You give and then you wait. That's just the way I've always heard it. You give and you give, and then you will receive.
Yes.
Before we go, because I just love what you just said, and people see clients and customers in all kinds of ways, but so many of us see them by a dollar bill or $100 or whatever money, financial. But I met this gentleman many, many years ago, probably 5 years ago, let's say. He has never purchased a thing from me, ever. He speak. He has seen me in different social platforms. He has seen me in different events. Again, he's never given me $1 of his money, but he has sent me people to hook up with me for fundraisers. He has
Huh?
sent me clients. He has sent me customers.
Awesome.
That's the way it goes, right?
Exactly.
He doesn't
Exactly.
need what I have right now. That doesn't mean he never will, but
Right.
right now, but
Mhm.
his circle, he's
Yes.
seen in his circle, there were people that needed me.
Exactly.
Someone referred me. That is the very best achievement that you can have is when someone refers you. That means
Exactly.
greatness, right?
Yes. I concur. Yes, I concur.
And that is something that every entrepreneur needs to keep in the back of their minds, that it all comes back around somehow, some way, as long as you continue to do your best ever and keep those sparks, as Dr. Lotus says, keep it igniting and let it grow. So
Yes.
Dr. Lotus, again, I want to tell you thank you so very much for being here with
My
us
pleasure.
today. And I can't wait again to see you the next time, because it seems like we are always running into each other. That's
Yes, we
great.
are. Yes, we are.
And I want
Yes, we
to
are.
continue that circle of love. So thank you, everyone, for being here with me and Dr. Lotus Riche today. And have the best day ever. Until next time.
Ciao.